Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. Before we dive into today's episode, we've got something exciting to share. Providend is hosting an exclusive webinar where we'll unpack what fee-only wealth advisory really means, why we chose this model when we started 24 years ago, and how to decide which advisory approach best suits your needs. It's happening on the 11th of September, and the best part is, it's completely free. You'll also get a chance to ask your questions live directly to our CEO, Christopher Tan. Spots are limited, so don't wait. Click the link in the description to register today. We can't wait to see you there. Now, let's get into the episode.
Hi everyone, we are here to record a podcast to celebrate our 24th anniversary, Providend's 24th anniversary, because for those of us who do not know, we were founded on the 11th of September 2001. So this year we celebrate our 24th birthday, and I'm very happy to have people from my senior management. The ladies in front call us C-suite. As in I see two sweet ladies, okay, to join us for our podcast. So we're going to ask various questions, and these questions we do not know yet. They will be given to us when the podcast starts. But I was told that the questions will be based on the 5W and 1H, the most popular questions of 5W and 1H found online. So the 5W be who, what, where, when, why, and the H is how. Okay, so the first question, and for those of you who do not know, this is the second time we are doing it because just now NG. Okay, so we know the question already. So the first question is, where is Providend located? And the rehearsed answer is?
Providend is located in our hearts.
Providend is located in our minds.
And Providend is located in our spirit.
But address-wise, Moon, I know you like to say it. Where is Providend located?
Providend is located at 38 Duxton Hill,
Singapore 089616.
089616.
616, yes. And the second question, or the follow-up question to that is, why did we choose this place? Okay, I test you first. I know the answer, but I test you first.
Okay, our first location was at 22 Malacca Street. So that's at Royal Brothers Building. Previously, now it's RB Building or something like that.
Royal Brothers
so
Building.
That is like Raffles Place. So you know Raffles Place is a place where you see people walk very fast. You also end up walk very fast, right? So when when the lease is up and we have to look for a new place, we wanted a different kind of feel of the kind of office that we want, because Providend's very big on culture. Providend wants clients to, when they come, because wealth advisory is not exactly something that is really fun. I mean, it sounds quite serious, and therefore we want a place where when clients come in, they feel welcome, they feel very comfortable. But yet, as being in the finance industry, we want to be close enough to the central business district, yet have a vibe that is not so hurried. Yeah, so that's where after sourcing, looking around, we felt that Duxton Hill was a good locale.
Moon, anything to add?
Well, I joined Providend after
we moved here.
Yeah, after we moved here. So I like the environment. It's very quiet, like what Evelyn says. It's very quiet. It's really like a city on the hill. So I mean, that's all.
A bit resort, right?
Yeah, I mean during the day it's quiet, but at night it's a different story.
Okay, so my answer is the correct answer.
As always.
Yes, always. Yeah, so it all started in 2006. And at that time, the brand team, actually there was only one marketer at that time, and we were discussing what kind of brand do we want Providend to be. And we landed at wanting a brand that's associated with families.
Family serving families.
Yeah, so our first tagline, which we don't use a lot today, but we still put it somewhere on our website, is a family serving family. And we wanted everything about Providend to be associated with families because we serve families. And we know that for many of our clients, the reason why they work so hard, the reason why they manage their wealth has got to do with family. And we didn't want to be like a typical financial institution that is just very interested in growing wealth. We wanted already at that time that when we help our clients manage their wealth, it is really to enable them to grow their families. So everything must be associated with family. And so when we decided to move office, like what Evelyn said, from Raffles Place, we were looking for a place to best represent that brand, that family brand. And truth be told, we went to look at a few places. I still remember one of the places was actually sort of like a landed property at Emerald Hill. We wanted to get sort of like a semi-detached or a bungalow and move our office there. But from the practical aspect, it doesn't really work very well because it's quite far away from MRT. And then, in terms of finding a place to eat, Emerald Hill is not exactly the best place. Then we were told that this place, Duxton Hill, there is a shop house that was open for us to lease. And I remember coming up the stairs from Craig Road to Duxton Hill, and the minute I stepped onto Duxton Hill, the cobble streets of Duxton Hill, I told myself this would be the place. So that's the reason. And until today, if you come to Providend, the sitting room area looks like a living room. It doesn't really look like an office lobby. It looks like a living room. Even our quarterly newsletter, Coffee Break, we have a segment called What's New in the Family, or something to do with family. I cannot remember.
Happenings.
Family happenings, that's right. Yeah, and all that came from 2006 when we wanted to also share with our clients whatever the things that are happening in the Providend family. And a lot of the client events that we did in the past, they were also associated with the family. So I know it's a very long answer, but the reason why we chose Duxton Hill and the way we renovated Duxton Hill, it's meant to be aligned with the brand that we believe in, and that is families. Okay, so the question is, when did Providend start? Okay, Moon.
September 11, 2001, after the plane crashed to the Twin Tower.
Okay.
That's the official start of Providend. But actually, I think the original team, we came together, was it year 2000?
No, 2001.
2001 beginning.
But it's beginning of January or February of 2001.
Right. Yeah. Oh, that means around the period I got married. Yeah.
Yeah, so early 2001 would be the answer. It first started with myself and another partner, and then subsequently the rest of the founding team came just a few months later. I always tell that sob story, so maybe the two ladies, you can answer this question.
I might not remember the details, so
Oh,
I don't want to miss out there.
okay. So the story goes that, the day that we signed the lease to our first office at 22nd Malacca Street, when we went back home, turned on the TV, that's where we saw the aeroplane flying into the Twin Towers. And I remembered looking at my husband, I'm like, is that a documentary or is that a movie show? Because it's so unreal, right? Before that, nothing like this had happened before. So of course, that was the start of the terrorist attack and concerns of all this. And because of this unprecedented attack on US, national security becomes of prime importance. So even though the government has announced that this act has been passed,
Financial Advisors Act.
Yeah, Financial Advisors Act has been passed, but
I'm not sure whether they have passed it. No,
but it's the operational part that is not out, right?
No, I don't. I can't remember. But I thought that the act was not put in place yet. They said that they're going to put it in place on September 2001.
Right.
But because of what you mentioned, the terrorist attack at World Trade Center, New York, they decided to delay the putting in place of the act until 1 year later, 1st October 2002.
Right. Yeah. So technically, Providend came together. I mean, we because we already signed the lease, right? We brought people in, and there are people who are actually, they left their past careers and they join us, and we don't have a license to operate. So those days were memorable days. I'm not sure whether it's very good memories, but it's like, you don't have because we're already quit, we have no income, but we have rental to pay for, we have certain fixed expenses to pay for. So we just basically have to scramble to do what we can do, to bring in a little bit of revenue just to sustain. But we are basically just, for many of us, we're living off our own savings.
So if I summarize, we came together wanting to start Providend early 2001. We signed the office lease for 22 Malacca Street on September 11, 2001, 6 p.m. to be exact. We put that as the official birth of Providend. But then because the FA Act only came into place 1st October in 2002, we applied for our license in January of 2003. And March of 2003, we got it's not the license.
In principle.
principle.
In principle approval of the license. And then in May, 23rd of May 2006, that was when we operationalized the license. Okay, so the next question is, how is Providend still around? How dare you ask this kind of question? But okay, that's the question. How is Providend still around? Because I think the background of that question is when we first started, and since day one we decided to go on fee only. That was back in 2003. Fee only was unheard of. I mean, even until today, 24 years later, this whole idea of fee only, don't take commissions kind of financial advice, we don't see a lot of it in this part of the world. So many people thought that we will not survive. But after 24 years, we are still here. And so the question is, how is it that we can survive? How is it that we are still around?
I mean, when that question was asked, this year is SG60, right? What comes to mind right away is that that resemblance to Singapore. It's like there was a time when people say that Singapore will make it,
Cannot make
but we did. I started too low. Yeah, but so the thing is, I think to answer that question, just like in Singapore, it was our forefathers who had a mission, a vision. First a vision, and then the mission to, ensure that things get done, the vision gets fulfilled. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears. I think likewise, the founding team has put in a lot of sacrifices. And of course, as we grow along, there are people who join us, like Moon and all. I think it's through that because of people. At the end of the day, it is the people who make up the company and ensure they sustain.
I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is God's grace, because it's really with God's blessing that we can also do the right thing, for our clients. And thankfully, our clients also see in terms of the value that we bring, for their lives, for their families. And that alone, can sustain us until today. I mean, I'm grateful to our clients as well, right? And the people that have actually joined us and stay with us for all these 24 years.
Yeah, so I mean, I had the first answer as you when you said that it's by God's grace. It's indeed by God's grace that we still survive after 24 years, because the initial years were very, very tough. Like I mentioned, the whole idea of fee only, the concept of fee only is very new. Until today, it's still very new. And we didn't have a brand like we have today. Nobody has heard of Providend. But yet we charge a fee. And back in those days, and even till today, when you go and see your advisor, I mean, you don't pay a fee, right? You buy a product and then you pay a commission. This whole idea of fee only came from the West, countries like US, UK, countries like Australia, but in Singapore it's unheard of. So it's really by God's grace that we survived. But of course, I think I also want to give credit to the founding team. We started with 7 of us, and then of course one of us left earlier to be a full-time church worker, and that left 6 of us to run the company. I always tell people that the 6 founding members, I mean, if I look back, I don't think there was a time that we come together and we quarrel over money. We don't quarrel over, who should make more money. We don't quarrel over not having enough money. I mean, we debate a lot in the boardroom. We debate a lot on company issues. And when we debate, it's intense. We debate robustly. But it's never because of money. And I think that kept us together, because you will hear of many partnerships whereby after a while, the partners quarrel over money, but that has never happened to us over the last 24 years. And the other thing, of course, is there is this humility amongst the founding team to submit to leadership, because in the team, Evelyn and me, we are one of the youngest, but yet both of us, Evelyn is the youngest. I'm the second youngest, actually, right? But yet the senior founding team members, they allowed both of us to actually call the shot. Not only they are older by age, they are more senior in the industry, but yet they allow us to lead the company. And that shows a lot of humility. That shows a lot of submission to leadership. And that allows the company to be run properly. Of course, the other thing would be, we always say honesty is the best policy, and that's definitely true for us. Over the last 24 years, it's been difficult to persevere, to do the right things, even though sometimes it is not so profitable. But I think we have always persevered on doing what we think is best for the clients. And many times, actually, they are not. These are the things that we do that are not very profitable. But I think God has blessed us for that desire to do the right things for our clients. And I think the clients can see it. And so we are also very grateful to our clients, especially those clients who have been with us from day one or almost day one. I remember this year during the annual client event, I bumped into a client and he said he was the number 3 or number 6 client of Providend. And now his children, they have all grown up, right? So it's very encouraging to see clients who have started with us since day one, and they are the ones that really allow us to survive. Yeah, so when we think about the last 24 years, we are very grateful for where we are today.
Hi listeners, thank you for your ongoing support. Some long-time listeners might know that the inspiration behind this entire podcast was our CEO, Chris's Money Wisdom book. We're proud to announce that we have launched our second edition of the book titled Money Wisdom Part 2, More Simple Truths for Financial Wellness. If you're interested in getting your very own copy, please check out the link in the show notes for more information. Thank you, and let's get back to the episode.
So the next question is, how much do we charge our clients? What are our fees? And will there be any changes? What's easy? In Providend, every day, there are things that changes or change. Okay, so this is a fee question. I shall ask the Chief Advisory Officer.
Okay, Providend essentially has 3 sets of fees. One is the planning fee. So the planning fee essentially is to cover the time that the client advisors spend with the client right from the discovery stage all the way to the implementation of the plan, which on average it takes about 30 to 35 hours. So when we first started, we go on a hourly based kind of fees structure, right? So we estimate the number of hours, then we charge, we tell the client what it is, and we charge them. But after a while, we most cases is about 30-35. So that's where we felt that the easier thing to do for most clients, we will charge between 4,000 to 5,000. Then of course for certain clients, where their cases are maybe a lot more straightforward, it may start with a 3. So it all depends, right? So the range is between 3 to 5, but of course more complex cases, we'll let the client know that you'll be a higher amount. But at any time, the clients will have clear visibility before they sign on a dotted line for the engagement of the plan. Then when clients choose to implement their plans with us, there is implementation fee, which is a percentage of the capital, but we actually, there's a cap to it. And then there is the annual advisory fee, because our work does not stop after the plan is implemented. In fact, that's just the beginning. There's a lot more ongoing work that will be done yearly reviews, ongoing, communications, and updates on stuff that is wealth advisory related. So there is an annual advisory fee, and that is percentage of the asset under management, ranging from 0.5 to the highest of 1%.
Will our fees change? Maybe Moon, you can take that.
Will our fees change? So I think as when we look at our pricings, we try to find the pricing that is fair for the clients, as well as the pricing that can sustain our business as well. So because being sustainable in the business is also important, not just for the sake of earning a profit, but it's also must be something that is fair to the clients as well. Right, because it is their money, and we're also helping them to grow their money to to achieve their goals as well. So it must be something that is fair for both party, which is the clients as well as us. So the answer is that we may change, along the way, because the industry may change as well, and we trying to find that sweet spot.
Yeah, so I think it's very difficult to say that we will not change our fees. Whether the fees will go up or come down, right? I think no business would dare to promise that. But beyond fees, I think what we are trying to focus a lot more on is the value that we bring to our clients. Because the truth is that when we look at our ongoing advisory fee, actually we have not changed our ongoing advisory fee since 24 years ago. Our ongoing advisory fee has always been kept at a maximum of 1% per year, right? We have never changed that. In terms of planning fee, yes, we have changed a little bit to keep in pace with inflation. That set of fees only covers the initial work. But like what Evelyn said, there are a lot more work being done on an ongoing basis. And I think what we really want to focus on is the value that we bring to clients is much more than the fees that the clients pay. And if you are our clients, I'm sure our clients will say that. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been with us for so long. Otherwise, today, we wouldn't be a company that manages about 1.5 billion AUM. If we have been expensive and yet we don't add any value at all, our clients would have gone to our competitors. But I strongly believe that clients continue to use our service because we really add value. And the difficult part is that for the work that we do, for the professional work that we do, because it's intangible, it is actually very hard to describe in words the value of the work, the amount of work and effort that we put in. It is only when you are a client, you realize how thorough we are. You will realize how comprehensive we are. You will realize how deep we try and understand your situation before putting it into a plan. You realize that the ongoing conversations, the amount of time we spend to really understand you, you realize that when the markets are volatile, the amount of work that we put in to make sure that you don't make decisions that you will regret later. And we're very proud of that because, that is why, over the past almost 10 years, the investment performance that we have delivered to our clients, net of fees, they are meeting the planning norm that we have set. Meaning to say that when we plan for our clients, we have a certain planning numbers. And when we manage those investment portfolios over the past near to a decade, those numbers, net of all fees, they are still achieving those plan numbers, which means to say that if this goes on, you have a higher chance of achieving your goals. And I think that's what you want, right? That's what client wants. And so like I say, beyond fees, we are focusing a lot on value. And whilst we say that fees might change, the one thing I can say for sure is that we are continuing to look for ways to add more value to our clients. Okay, the next question is, why is Providend so cheap? Okay, so that's not the question. Okay, so I changed the question. Okay, so the question is, why is Providend so expensive? Are we?
Yeah, are we?
I don't know. Or people are searching for that.
Actually, I feel, it's all about value, how you deem it, right? I mean, if you can't see the value, even if I charge you $1,000 or don't talk about $100, you'll say that it's expensive because price is just a number. Value is what you get, right? So until unless you can see that, what will be done for you is indeed valuable to you and your family in achieving your goals and ensuring that you're living out what really matters to you, what we call your ikigai goals. That's super valuable, right? Then the amount that we charge to you will be very acceptable. Yeah, so of course, then it's also a function of whether what we provide, kind of service that we provide, the kind of value that we provide is indeed something that you're looking for. Because not every person needs the kind of advice that we give. Maybe you are a super smart person and you have that discipline, to manage your investments and not get uptight, when there is a major market correction. You are very disciplined in reviewing your plan as and when circumstances change, regulations change, you review your plan and make changes to it. Then you really don't need to pay us, right? But there are a lot more people who are not like that, right? And therefore, they see value in the work that we do.
Yeah. I think the struggle with us is always how to communicate that value to the clients, because how clients sees the values, I mean, like whether is it worth the money, is if they can see what the service brings to us, right? And then, I mean, that's how we see things when we see things that we like, and then we judge based on what we can see and what's the price tag and whether that is a reasonable price. But unfortunately for us is that we tell you what's the price, but you are not able to see what's the value that comes from the service. So I think that what Chris say and Evelyn say is that there's a lot of work that we do. Many of this works is a lot of advice work that can't be automated. So there's a lot of works that if you're not a client of ours, you won't be able to see. So that's the question that says, are we expensive? I mean, we don't find us to be very, very expensive as if you're looking at the value that we bring to the table to you as the clients.
I just want to add to that, right? Because as a firm, we also feel responsible to the client that we are charging a fair price. Yeah, but there is no precedence. There's no other firm that is like us in Providend operating in the environment that we are operating in Singapore. But there are many fee-only firms in US, in Australia, maybe in UK as well. And I think over the years, we have visited some of these firms. We have gotten some of the data. We've participated in certain benchmarking exercises. And given the amount of, the scope of the services that we provide to our clients, actually, we think we are quite cheap. Cheap in that sense that, we are not expensive. Yeah. So in that sense, we can stand tall. When clients ask me how much I charge, I can tell them, I don't fidget, right? When I tell them this is what we charge, because we know that it is, given the kind of value and the level of work and the level of effort and time that we put in, and balancing, like what Moon mentioned, that we have to be sustainable as a firm, right? Because I need to be able to attract and retain good staff. Yeah, so I need to be sustainable over a long term. I think we are not expensive.
Yeah, the question is searched from internet. And obviously the people who ask these questions, they are not our clients. And if you are not our client, you will naturally think that we are expensive. You probably wouldn't think this way if you are our client today, because you have experienced the value that we have brought to you. I mean, at least what we charge, before you sign off to engage us to be our clients, you know exactly what you are paying. In our industry, whereby you don't really know what you are paying because generally speaking, advice in this part of the world is still paid by commissions. And when it's commissions, you don't really know how much you are paying. But commissions, they are not cheap, right? When you buy products and you pay a commission, actually it is not cheap. It may even be more than what actually you are paying us to draft out your plan. And that's perhaps why when people put into the internet, they say that we are expensive. Because unfortunately, well, it's partly our fault that we haven't managed to convey the kind of value that we bring to you until you walk through that 2 to 3 months of process with us, and you really see the value that we bring. I'll just say that if you want to avoid costly financial mistakes, if you want to make sure that whatever advice that is given to you is in your interest and not because a certain product has to be recommended to make that money, if you want to make sure that all your wealth is integrated into a plan, it's not piecemeal, in order to enable your goals. If you want a plan that is not created just by one person, because in the industry usually it's one advisor serving the clients, and I've always had problems with that because in a professional practice, it is impossible for one person to be an expert in all areas. It's the same in medical practice, it's the same in legal practice, it is the same in accounting practice, because the body of work is so wide that it's impossible for one person to be an expert to be able to give a very comprehensive and competent advice. So if you want a team that is giving you the advice, that is expert in various areas, if you want high certainty of success in achieving those goals, then come to us. You will not find it to be expensive relative to the value that you are getting, relative to the peace of mind that you get, relative to that probability of you achieving the goals. I don't think you will find us to be expensive. Now, I'm not saying that we are cheap. I'll just say that we are fair.
I just wanted to add on that. So I think we recognize that there are some people that the situations may be quite simplified, right? So, then it's they might not need all the advice that the extent of the advice that we give. But obviously, that if you are not sure, do let us know. Call us, inquire us. Then we can actually have that chat with you to see whether we are suitable, for you as well.
Thanks, Boon. Yeah, thanks for that. I mean, we have always sort of like tell our people that if someone comes in and the needs are actually very simple and it's really not worth it engaging us, right? We will tell you honestly, don't use us, right? Because after you use us, you'll feel that, wow, I pay so much, but actually my case is very simple. And we don't want that experience. We don't want you to go away feeling like you have overpaid and you didn't get the value. And especially for us, because we charge an ongoing fee, we want the relationship to be long-term. And if we don't see that the relationship can be long-term because your situation is actually quite simple, then we will actually tell you quite honestly, don't use us. So the question is, who is next Providend's next?
Who is
Providend's next CEO, CAO, COO, CMO,
Deputy CEO,
and all the O's lah. Okay, wait. I think about it first. Cool. It'll be one of you all.
Yeah, that's true.
Is that the answer?
I think about 5 years back, we have started our succession planning because I think we owe it to our clients to ensure that Providend will continue to be led well, in a way that is accountable to clients, that we will still be around to take care of them and all. So we have, thankfully, thank God, identified, our what we call the G2, the next level of a next batch of leaders. But of course, at this point, they are still, being groomed. We don't have specific people in mind, as in specific names for specific roles. But we are still observing to see who is suitable for what. So it's we are living in a meritocratic society. So at the end of the day, it's who can do the job best, or most suitable for the particular role.
Moon,
No comment.
no comment. You can always say me.
Huh?
You can always say me. I'm the next CEO. It's okay. Ask for the job.
No comment. I mean, I don't know in terms of, because like what Evelyn said, that we have identified the leaders, whether they're suitable, to be the successors, we don't know yet. So that's the reason why I can't give the answer now. But rest assured that we have identified the leaders. Maybe there are more leaders that will join us as well, right? Yeah. So as of now, don't know.
I think what we look for in our next set of leaders must be people who are very well integrated into our culture and understand our culture very well. Our culture is made up of two parts. The first part, of course, will be our core values. And Providend has a core value that's embedded in this acronym called SPIRIT, which stands for strong mind, passionate belief, inspiring one another to run the race independently but yet as a team. So we are looking for people that shows this kind of core values. The second part of our culture is our corporate purpose. And you can find that corporate purpose statement on our website. But if I may reduce the corporate purpose statement into its irreducible minimum, it's about helping our clients first make life decisions before making financial decisions. It's about providing them with honest, independent, and competent advice. It is about our desire in wanting to be the light of the financial world, a safe space whereby when our clients come, they know that they are taken care of as if they are our family. And so the next set of leaders must understand this, because it is easier to find people with good leadership skills. It is easier to find people with functional competence to do the work. It is harder to find people with the right heart to really understand the reason and the purpose why we set up Providend 24 years ago. It was set up in the midst of an industry, and even till today, I think the industry is pretty much the same, whereby there are a lot of mis-selling, a lot of wrong practices, and Providend wanted to be that light. We wanted to make sure that our clients get honest, independent, and competent advice. And so the next set of leaders that we are looking at, whilst we are grooming them in terms of their skills, in terms of empowering them with the knowledge, I think what is more important is that DNA, that they really understand the reason behind what Providend is set up for. And over and on top of that, beyond understanding what we are set up for, I think we are also looking at leaders who understand what Providend means as a corporate family. And this was something that we just talked about recently, because in a corporate family, it is about being able to care for one another with kindness, with love, with patience. This is not normal in a corporate family, or rather this is not normal in a corporation, right? But this is something that we treasure very much. While we insist on high standard, we want to do it with grace. We want to do it by building people up and not tearing people down. And we are looking for leaders who are like that. So yeah, it's a 10-year plan. We started since 5 years ago. We are halfway through. Hopefully in 5 years' time, Evelyn and me, we can retire. But we don't have to. It's not as if that 5 years later, we press the button and we have to go. We hope that we can hand over to the next generation of leaders. We can take a back seat. But, we have time. We're not that old. I'm quite old, but Evelyn is younger. Moon is youngest. Moon is only 35 years old. So yes. We have a long way more to go. But when we are ready, when we find the correct group of people, then we'll be ready to hand over to them. Not only we will then be assured that they will take care of our clients, we will also be assured that they will take care of us, because our retirement money is also in the firm. Yeah, so I think that's the answer is pretty sufficient. Yeah. Okay, before we end this episode, both of you, anything else to say? Yeah, Moon,
Happy
you look
birthday,
like...
Providend.
That's all?
Thank you for listening.
Oh my gosh. That's all. Okay, that leads me to wrap up this episode. If you enjoy what we have shared and you have enjoyed what Evelyn and Moon, both of them have shared, let us know. We'll invite them more often for the podcast, right? But if you enjoyed this episode and you want to hear more from us, I ask you to like, subscribe, and please share it with your friends. Thank you very much for listening and watching.
Thank you.
All analysis, views or opinions from interviews, recommendations and other information broadcasted, podcasted or published herein are provided for general information purposes only. Information expressed does not take into account any specific situation, particular needs or objectives and should not be construed as specific advice or a recommendation. Information has been obtained from sources that are deemed to be reliable, but their accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed. Always consult with a qualified investment, legal or tax professional before taking any action. Providend Limited does not accept any liability for any loss whatsoever arising from any use of the information broadcasted, or published herein. All contents and information contained herein may not be copied or reproduced in whole or in part by any means without prior written consent of Providend Limited.